What's up, Tommy boy?
What up, bro?
How you
Good
doing, man?
afternoon. Doing good, doing good.
Good.
Having a
Well,
good day so far.
awesome. Well, thank
Still a little
you.
bit sick. Still a little bit sick in the throat, but a lot better, definitely.
As much as yelling you do, man, your throat's probably always sore.
Yeah, my voice hasn't been normal since for months now, it seems like, since the beginning.
Right. Well, thank you for coming on the Patriots Discourse podcast.
Yep, yep, of course. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks, man. So I want to get to know a little bit more about you and what has put you in this position to be here and what's made you want to stand up for your country and where you want to go in the future.
All right,
So,
all right. Yeah. Well, I mean, our country, the state of our country is what brought me here right now. The violence of the left, Charlie Kirk, them killing Charlie Kirk. Uh, I've said it tons of times before. After what they did to him, I couldn't help myself but to be out and showing support for America and voicing his cause,
right.
family, country, and Christianity, and I'm not the best Christian I never claimed to be, and I'm nothing like Charlie Kirk. He was better than I'll ever be, and that's a fact, but I align with his values, with the way he wanted to live life. I agree. I agree that's how our country should be.
Charlie was it, man, it made me so mad. And so
Yeah.
just I was so angry, sad, and everything when it went down. And yeah,
Yeah.
I've been watching you since then. Uh,
Yeah.
I used to stream you a ton back then,
Yeah.
and it was I definitely remember you getting, you would talk about it and get pretty emotional about it, and
It's
it's
still hard. Yeah. I miss him every day like I knew him. Like I knew him personally. I've never mourned for somebody so much that I didn't know personally.
mhm, yep.
It's pretty wild. He didn't deserve what happened to him.
You're right. So when you started coming out here and you started basically protesting, what was in your mind at that point? Like before you everything that happened with the one guy you knocked out right outside of ICE.
So the first day that I went out there and like after they killed Charlie, the first I went there a couple times before that, like rode by on a scooter and just checked it out, but I had never stopped and like engaged in anybody there. And so the first day that I went there, I was just standing on the corner, kitty corner to ICE, right there where they're hanging out at now, right there on the corner. And I had all the Trump gear on, and I was just standing there. I didn't say nothing to nobody until I seen Richard burning a flag, you know,
Mhm.
and I couldn't help myself but say, hey, why are you doing that? Like if you hate this country and that flag so much, then why are you here? Is pretty much, I think, exactly what I said. And they swarmed me, all the crazies that are always there. They
Mhm.
instantly swarmed me and started saying that I was going to get Charlie Kirk and leave that old man alone and all this crazy nonsense. And right then, something switched in my head and I just started giving it back to him. I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You know what? You guys don't deserve to be here. You guys don't deserve the freedoms and the great things that we get out of this country. You guys take everything you have for granted. Something snapped in my head, and ever since, like, this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm meant to be doing, is standing up for our country, standing up for ICE, standing up for each and every one of those ICE agents and their families, letting them know that Americans support ICE and we support what they're doing, getting these criminals out of our country. It's so much all in one,
Yeah.
there's so much to it.
Did you when everything was going down, did you realize that you were going to become so influential?
No, that's not what I was out there for. I was out there because I felt something in my heart that said, "Hey, I have to go out here and I have to show ICE that there's Americans in Portland that support them and the cause that they're going after." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I didn't know any of this was gonna happen. I didn't know that dude was gonna attack me. and get in my face for over 20 minutes and break my tripod and physically attack me. You know, I had no clue me defending myself would open this amazing door that's been opened for me. You know, I had no clue about any of it. You know, it's still unbelievable to me that I have so many people that support what we're doing and so much love. You know what I mean? It's still like hard to believe sometimes, you know.
Do you think it's enough people, and not just people that support you, just Patriot and Republicans, conservatives? Do you think there's enough people to turn around Portland and Seattle?
I hope I mean I hope more people will come out and show up, and it has been since we started coming out there. A lot of people have been coming out and supporting. I've even had people DM me pictures in other cities and states, them showing up at ICE detention centers with signs for ICE and stuff saying, "Hey, look, Tommy, you inspired us to do this," you know, which is absolutely amazing, and absolutely I love every second of it. You know, that's what we need more of is patriots to go out and show support for ICE and say, "Hey, we're here." You know, it's not all these crazy liberals. There's only a few of them, you know, but we're
Yeah.
the majority. You know,
It,
they just don't have jobs and they can be out there doing whatever they want all day every day. You know,
it's true.
it's yeah.
And a lot of them are probably getting paid.
Yeah, I believe it. You know, I absolutely do believe that a lot of them are getting paid. The one, especially the ones that be wearing the orange vests and you know, like it's organized, you know, and these people aren't doing it for free.
That one girl that's always on the, not the magaphone, but the just megaphone. Uh,
Yeah,
her voice is so distinct. She's always out there yelling.
the one
I-
all in black that's always
yes.
using it. She
Yep.
hasn't been out there. The last time I seen her, I think, was at the whenever they jumped me on that Saturday down by Tom McCall Park. I seen her there that night. But other than that, I haven't seen her out there in front of ICE using the megaphone like she used to a lot. But I
Hmm.
know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, it's a very distinct voice, and she was just monotone saying the same thing over and over all the time.
A lot of people think that she's definitely getting paid, but I mean, who knows? I don't know anything.
It's crazy.
So,
It's so unbelievable to me.
so have you felt like you evolved? Have you evolved, become a better speaker? I definitely think
Um,
you've become way better at speaking, arguing.
I'm learning still. I mean, I'm always going to be learning. This is all so new to me, and I'm not perfect and I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You know what I mean? But I do get eyes on situations and I do get the point across, and I can use my words properly if I want to. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like I have evolved in some ways, you know, and but I'm always welcoming criticism and advice from people that have been doing it a lot longer than me. You know, I always accept the criticisms and the advice no matter what it's about. You know, if you think I'm doing something wrong, let me know and I'll take it in and I'll consider it and I won't get upset about it, you know. And
Hmm.
that's how it should be.
Who are some of the people that you look up to, and why do you look up to them?
Oh, well, you know Charlie Kirk, of course, but
Yeah.
there, like JD Delay. You know,
Hmm.
JD Delay is an awesome. He's been amazing. Shout out to JD. He's been amazing. Climatics TV. You've been around for a minute now too. There's a BC Preacher. You know, I
Oh yeah.
love BC Preacher. We don't agree on everything, but he has the right mindset. You know, he's a Christian and he goes by God and the Bible, and I appreciate that, and I need more of that in my life. And so I will always take criticisms from people like that in the best way possible, no matter what. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And because he's been doing this way longer than I ever have, you know. So how can I say anything other than okay, I'll take it into consideration. You know what I mean? Like I'll try to work it in and figure it out. You know. But yeah, lots. Chad Canton, he's a great dude. I love
Oh
Chad to
yeah.
death. You know, he has great advice for me all the time. You know, and I
Yeah.
try to take it, but it's hard out there dealing with these people to not like cuss and you know say that you know shit that I say. You know, I don't want to say because YouTube or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's I'm not perfect and I'm not always the nicest about shit, but that's what's going to get attention on what needs to be brought. you know?
Right. And honestly, a lot of people don't, me personally, and back when I used to stream you a whole lot, like I used to stream you every single day. Um,
Yeah.
a lot of people would say that they don't follow you because you're perfect. They follow you because you represent so much of America. Nothing like Charlie Kirk is a great man. You are you, and you
Yeah.
represent how a lot of people feel. And Charlie Kirk he's everybody wishes they could be as good and wholesome as Charlie Kirk, but you are just more so you're also wholesome, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And
I
I
always
think
say
that's
they killed the best of us, so now they get the rest of us. Charlie was the nice one.
yes,
Charlie did things respectfully and didn't yell and scream and look what happened to him, you know? So obviously niceties with these type of people isn't isn't the way to go. It's not working, you know?
mm,
Like we have to be blunt and upfront and use words that they don't like because we have a right to. You know, we have a right to First Amendment. Hi, mamas. We have a right to First Amendment, and I'm going to use it the way I see fit, you know?
yes. And it does feel like our a lot of our rights are being attacked right now when it comes to free speech, freedom of
Yeah.
press,
Yeah. Online posts. I just
online.
reposted a post about police showing up at a lady's house because of a Facebook post. You know, like what are we, the UK? We're not the UK. We're not some third world country. We have the right to say whatever we want as long as we're not inciting violence, as long as we're not making death threats, like Travis Jerby doing all the time.
Right,
As long as we're not being upfront violent, you know what I mean? As long as we're not breaking the law, basically,
right,
you know what I mean? We can say whatever we want, we can use whatever words we want, and nobody can censor us. This is America. That's what our First and Second Amendment is for, you know?
right.
Our Second Amendment protects our First Amendment for a reason. Founding fathers were geniuses.
Yeah, they were. They knew what was coming. And
Yep,
thank you.
they definitely did.
That was my post that you reposted. So thank you for
Yeah,
reposting that.
yeah.
It's and even I didn't find out until later that she was actually a leftist. But the thing is she
It
doesn't,
doesn't matter.
yeah, she didn't
Yeah,
make a threat.
no.
And I don't think the police should be showing up at anyone's door just because somebody got offended.
No, no. What are the fucking tone police? No, no. Like
Yeah,
Andrew says, you ain't tone policing nobody. Andrew Wilson is the goat, and you ain't tone policing me. You know what I mean?
right,
Just because you don't like, it's not hate speech. It's speech that you hate. There's a very big difference, and that's
right
the
there.
speech that we need to protect. Is the speech that you don't like. You know, it's not the nice stuff that don't need protecting. You know what I mean?
All right. They're very, and if you want to talk about when it comes to who's more like Nazis nowadays, it's them because they want to remove us
Yeah,
from ever speaking.
yeah,
And it's crazy
yeah.
how they call us
It's
Nazis.
it's crazy. There was a clip of some leftists on YouTube that I just seen from the other night when I was at ICE, and he was talking into the camera and he was saying, "I can't wait till this president is not in office no more." And people like this basically saying that I needed to be publicly executed once Trump wasn't in office no more because of the things that I was saying that they didn't like. You know, that's the kind of shit that's crazy to me. Like you don't like what I'm saying, so you want me publicly executed like Charlie Kirk. Like that it's heinous, you know. There's no dealing or talking with people that have that kind of mindset, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So the other day when we talked on the phone, you were talking about how you might be interested in getting into politics.
Yeah, yeah. It, what's awesome is David Medina's running for governor of Oregon out here, and he's amazing. He's amazing. He's got my vote and everybody else's that's red in this state for sure. But yeah, I've had people run it by me that they want me to go into like try to run for Congress or Senate or something like that, which is kind of baffling to me.
And what a lot of people say is, this country was founded on, farmers. It was founded on regular people, not,
Yeah,
suits and it doesn't always have to be somebody who's super suity and
politically
politically
correct. Yeah,
correct. Yes, right there.
yeah.
it can definitely be somebody who's real.
Yeah. Well, I'm meeting with a bunch of people on Saturday to talk about that, actually, about me maybe trying to join politics, which is
Okay, that'd be
it's
cool.
still hard for me to fathom. You know, if you'd have told me this 5 years ago that people would want me to run for office, I would like you're crazy, you know.
Yeah,
but but I'm down to try if people really want me to, you know.
right. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Well,
Yeah,
I think everybody will be
I
looking
think it'll
forward
be
to that.
fun. I think it'll be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, I
Do
think
you
it'll
have
open a
like,
lot of doors too,
right? That's true. Do you
you
have
know.
like some bigger goals and maybe some like smaller goals when it comes to that? Like, obviously like governor would be the biggest, and then I don't know, like
Yeah.
I don't know what would be below something smaller, you know? I think even just
Yeah.
starting off somewhere small.
Like a city council seat or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind trying for something small and see how good I do, you
Mm.
know, and then go from there, you know. Like it's hard to think past that point, you know. Like
Right.
I've never even thought about this until the last like couple weeks, you know, talking with Iceman and them. Iceman has ran for Congress before and he knows the whole process. So he's going to help me try to get it set up, you know?
You have so many people around you, man. So
Yeah.
many people are in your corner. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, you've said like at least 20 to 30 names since we've
Yeah.
started.
I got a lot of good people on our side, on my side that fully support what we're doing and got my back to the fullest. And it feels amazing. It's like a whole new family. I've got literally got people got by my side that are like true family now, you know, like it's pretty I didn't hang out with anybody very many people before this in Portland, you know, like me and my wife and her family, you know, we go boating and stuff like that, but I didn't have like a lot of outside friends out here, you know. But now I got dude, I'm always out doing something with people, you know, and it's amazing. It's an amazing it's one of the best things that's happened with all this is meeting all these amazing people, you know,
Right.
and learning who to trust and who not to trust is another hill that's, you know, another battle for sure.
You're talking about starts with a W.
Dick ears. Yeah. Will, yeah, that's the main one. I
Right.
mean, there's been a few, but yeah, that's the one that, yeah,
So he went crazy, and then he went back to normal, and now he's crazy again.
crazy. He put my
Maybe crazy
wife's
isn't the right
phone
word.
number. He put mine and my wife's phone number out in all kinds of live chats and our address and tries to say just pretty much everything about us. He's blasted to everybody, like completely doxed my, you know what I mean? It
Hmm.
all because we didn't give him a ride to Salem. You know, he went from being normal to absolute bonkers, like because I didn't trust him. I forgave him from the first one, but that don't mean I trust you and I want to be your friend still, you know. And he kept trying to text me and want to hang out and be my friend and go to church with me and I didn't want to associate. I was just trying to just be nice, forgive him and end it there, but he just wouldn't stop, you know. And I guess the last straw was me not wanting to give him a ride to Salem and he just went bananas again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it doesn't. And I knew that that's what was going to happen. That's why I didn't trust him and would never let him get close to me again like that. You know what I mean? Like, because I knew all it would take was something stupid and he was going to go crazy. He's not stable.
Yeah. Well, to start pushing on to another subject. So obviously, independent journalism, that is your main thing. That is something you love, right?
Yeah, independent journalism. And I mean,
Isn't
I
that what you
consider
would?
like I
Okay.
consider like Nick Shirley, Cam Higby, like Nick Sorter, people like that, you know, independent journalists, and I'm not quite on that level, you know, to be honest. I'm more like I want to say political activist slash journalist, but I don't know. It's journalism is a little different than what I'm doing. I think,
Right.
I'm not necessarily like, yeah, I think Nick Shirley is probably like one of the best independent journalists out there right now. And that's an independent journalist. I'm a political activist slash journalist that shows the world what's happening at political shit. You know what I mean? Anti-ICE and stuff like that. Uh, it,
That's a good
it's,
point.
I
Yeah.
guess it's considered a form of like journalism, but nowhere near like, you know what I mean?
I
Yeah, it's
like
hard.
the I like the political activists. So so when you are unlocked to be able to start going to other places, other
Yeah.
states and everything like that, your plan is to, well, I'll let you explain it.
I want to go from state to state wherever they're having all these ICE, anti-ICE, and try to gather people and get patriots to show up like we did here in Portland. I
Yeah.
want to go state to state and let them hear my voice as loud as possible at each ICE detention center, just like I have here. I want to bring more people to our side. I want to sensationalize this as much as possible towards ICE, because real Americans, real legal immigrants, real Americans support our border laws,
Hmm.
and that's what people need to know. Real
You're right.
Americans support our border laws and support keeping America safe. And having open borders and having all these millions and millions of illegals here being arrested and released in these sanctuary cities isn't safe for anybody.
Nope.
These sanctuary cities, they gotta be defunded until they start turning over the illegals that they're arresting. If they arrest an illegal, instead of releasing them, they should release them to ICE. Why release a criminal alien back onto our streets? That makes absolutely no sense. And there shouldn't be a city or a state in this country that's doing it because it's harming people like Lake and Riley. You know, Lake and Riley wouldn't be dead right now if it wasn't for an illegal immigrant, Like it's yeah. It
Yeah.
The sanctuary city stuff it just blows me away that there's police stations and police departments that arrest illegals and then release them back to the streets instead of deporting them. It doesn't make no sense to me.
Yeah, I did see talk of Trump talking about defunding the sanctuary cities.
Starting February 1st, hopefully.
Yep, there you go. Thank you. Okay, well,
Yeah,
that'll help a lot.
it
But
definitely will.
will it put them, will they change, or do you think they'll just continue?
I think they'll just try to throw more lawsuits at Trump like they've always do. Throw
Hmm.
more of these leftist judges at Trump that have no right to even be doing the shit that they're trying to do against Trump. You know what I mean? What
Yep.
Trump is doing is federally protected. These state judges, that nothing they say matters to them. You know what I mean? Like nothing they
Hmm.
do is going to stop Trump from deporting illegals. It might slow him down. It's still going to happen. You know what I mean? They rely on the federal government for federal funds. Without federal funds, how are they going to give away all the stuff that they give away out here? How are they going to fund these radical gay parade, transgender parades, and all this stuff in Portland without federal funding? They won't. It's craziness.
And so I heard that there might be a little bit of interest in becoming a political commentator as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I need to get a setup, like a streaming setup, because right now I just use my phone. I have an iPad, but I just use my phone. Once we move and get a space that I can actually set up a space in, I definitely want to do political commentary and not necessarily always have to be out and about doing my lives. I can, sit down and just talk like you do, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Or like JD, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, and just give my thoughts and opinions on current and political and whatever else I want to.
I think a lot of people
I
would love
definitely
that.
got to get there. Yeah. Yeah.
It A little bit of commentary and then going out and fighting against the protests
Yeah.
and then.
City halls,
Hmm.
I'm going to be doing more city halls and more college visits. College is back in session, so probably going to be doing, I got court tomorrow in the morning. See how that goes. And going to be going back to a few colleges that I've been to, and I want to start going to more that I haven't been to. You know what I mean? And I want to try to go to colleges and sit down at a table and actually have discussions with people. But you know how that is at those liberal colleges. You can't really, if you sit down and you have a MAGA hat on, they're just going to yell, you know? And if you
Hmm.
start yelling at me, then I'm going to give back the same vibe that I'm getting. That's just how it is. Like, I can't help myself. You start yelling and getting crazy with me, I'm going to get yelled and get crazy back at you. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you the same energy you're giving me.
And I like
And
that
that's what
about
these
you.
people need, you know?
Don't lose that.
No,
I think a lot of us love that about you.
yeah, my voice is the only thing that I'm gonna lose, you know? That's why I got the mega megaphone.
So for the people that a lot of my followers who might not know who you are, do you want to explain a little bit what the justice system is trying to falsely do to you?
So
Whatever you
I
can talk
I've
about.
been I've been attacked and harassed at ICE for using my voice and my words more times than I can count. But when I first got out there, Nick Sorter and Chad and Matt Tario and everybody was out there, you know, and Nick had been attacked multiple times. I had already been attacked multiple times. And so I ended up having to defend myself from somebody that was running at me that just attacked Nick and everybody else that was trying to walk on the sidewalk. And they had just attacked Nick, and we got him off the sidewalk and out from under the tent. And when I turned around, this dude that I don't know what he looks like unless he has a mask on, but it's the same dude that's been there since day one that I've been there, telling me that I was going to be Charlie Kirked and that they were going to kill me next and all this crazy stuff for weeks now. It was like a whole solid week at that point. You know, I turned around to make sure nobody was following us to attack us anymore. And here he comes running straight at me with a can of bear mace in his hand, looking like he was going to just like get me. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so I defended myself. And instead of them watching the video and actually seeing what happened, they arrested me. And so now I'm going to court over defending myself, which is crazy because all these leftists that have been arrested out there, none of them, they all get charges dismissed.
Hmm.
Like Travis Jur, I went to his court yesterday and for 2 harassment charges that he got at ICE a couple of days before that. And they just no charges filed, just dismissed them. You know what I mean? But me, I have a misdemeanor assault from defending myself, and I have like the head DA is the one working on my case. Like last time I went to court, they had me in this courtroom it was for domestic violence, and I'm it's nothing to do with domestic violence. They sent me to the wrong court, and the DAs that were there, the junior DAs or whatever, they literally said, "Oh, this is way above our head. It's the head DA that's doing this case." You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so like why is the head DA dealing with a misdemeanor case and prolonging it and playing it out so much? And there's so much video evidence showing that I was defending myself. You know what I mean? It just it doesn't make no sense.
It
You
doesn't.
know, it doesn't
Your
make no sense.
your charges should have been dropped. I mean, we watched
Should
it live.
definitely.
We were streaming it when it happened.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it
Hey.
was on yours or Nick Sorter's, or maybe I can't remember who it was, but we were watching Nick Sorter go through, and we watched it all live, and we all were
Yeah.
like, we knew it was self defense.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And the disorderly. Hey, stop. The disorderly conduct that they got me for. All I was doing was walking in a circle yelling into the megaphone, "God bless ICE, we love ICE." And that black dude was following me, putting his speaker in my face over and over. And I was walking away from him the whole time. It's all on video. And they arrested both of us. I give them that. They said that I was blocking the road and that I was causing a scene when all I was doing was trying to walk away from this dude. And the whole road was full of people. So I wasn't blocking the road. Everybody was. You know what I mean? It's so one-sided with this shit. You know?
yeah.
Like that shit should have been dismissed and this shit should have been over with a long time ago, but they just keep playing it out.
Well, before we get off of here, what is your message to patriots who want to get involved and want to save America as somebody
Get
who's
off the
leading the
couch.
charge like you?
Get
Sure.
off the couch, go to your nearest, go to the near, find the nearest protest, find the nearest city hall meeting that's anti-ICE or pro-sanctuary city, or like just get involved. That's all I did was go out there, and I just went out there to be in my Trump gear and show ICE. I don't even know what my thoughts were, but as soon as they started yelling at me, like everything clicked into place. Like, hey, I'm gonna go yell for ICE and say we love you. You know what I mean? And that's all it took for these people to go insane and lose their shit. And it's effective. Just patriots showing up with American flags, Trump flags, a MAGA hat, and saying God bless ICE. It'll make a difference. It'll bring more people out, first of all, and that's all we need to do is get more patriots out and showing love for ICE and what they're doing to save our country, to protect our country from violent illegals. Just get up and go out to your local protest. That I mean, go to your local city council. You know, it takes a lot until it doesn't. Like you think it's going to be hard until you get there, and the first conversation you have with one of these people, that nervousness will go away. Like I always, before a protest or before going to ICE or before going to city council meetings, I always get that pit in my stomach, that nervousness,
Mhm.
like I don't want to say anxiety, but like butterflies, like, oh shit, this, you don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as soon as I get there and I start talking to these people, it goes away instantly, and the passion comes out, and the want to make our country better, and the desire to bring people to the cause comes out way more than anything else. The nervousness goes away as soon as you get there. That's how it is with me.
That was awesome, man. That was very real too. I
Yeah,
bet it is hard for a lot of people to be like, I just got to get off the couch and go do it. It's that
yeah.
first bit is probably what feels
Yeah,
the most.
the nervous feeling in your stomach is really real. Like it gets sometimes, especially like the big protests, like the Salem one. I'm not gonna lie, the whole ride there, and right before we got there, like there was a pit when we drove by, and I seen that there was already a couple hundred people there. Like the pit in my stomach grew, and it's almost like anxiety, but it's more like butterflies, like really, really bad. But as soon as you walk past that first person and they give you that look and you're like, God bless ICE, all those nerves go away, and it's just adrenaline and passion, just combined. And that's what keeps me going. Passion for my country, passion for my president, passion for these ICE agents and keeping them safe. This rhetoric about our ICE agents being Nazis and KKK and kidnappers, and it's getting people hurt.
Mhm.
It's emboldening these illegals and these citizens that are out patrolling against ICE. It's emboldening them to go after ICE agents, and it's going to get more people hurt, either ICE agents or citizens or illegals, just like the one that just happened in Compton. Like they tried to run over another ICE agent and they had to shoot at him again. And that's because of these politics and their rhetoric against ICE. It's bullshit.
Well, thank you, Tommy, for coming on here, man. It's been awesome talking to you. It's you really are a true patriot, man. So thank you for coming on here and getting everybody to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, bro. Always, anytime. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, maybe we'll have you
All right,
back on
boss.